Hello and welcome to a bit of kitchen table electronics, and I want to show you a little circuit here which I've cobbled together, which is basically a timed alarm circuit. This bottom area is the timer circuit, this top one is basically the alarm circuit, and they're joined together through the negative first of all, and then later through the positive of a transistor, which is turned on from pin number 3, which is down here, pin number 3 of this 555 timer through the beat. And basically what happens is when you turn the circuit on, this pin here, the third pin on this timer, is negative, and that's what this transistor needs, negative on the base, to allow the positive to come through and also travel through and into the alarm circuit, completing the circuit and around. But as soon as you press this mom switch here, which is a momentary switch, it's not your mom, don't get excited, she's not doing your washing for you, you press that, and that basically turns this third pin positive, which basically turns off this transistor because it needs to be negative on the base. So then the power's not going, so the alarm circuit doesn't work. But because you have your positive and your negative going to the timer circuit, everything's still working on the timer circuit. And as soon as basically whatever you've timed it for, like here I've used a 4.7 million ohm resistor and a 47 microfarad capacitor, and that gives me about 5 minutes approximately by here. It's always just approximately, it's not exactly 5 minutes, like it'll usually go over 5 minutes, but that's what I need. I needed something that was about between 5 and 6 minutes, because basically I just wanted to make a fancy egg timer, because I like the odd boiled egg, love the old things, and I've got a habit of putting them on and forgetting I put them on, and then they end up still edible but not as nice, because the yolk goes all like a sort of drier, not so nice. And here you go, never mind about waffling on about eggs. This is basically the timer all soldered up. This side is basically what is this? This is the timer circuit with the buttons up, and there's the alarm circuit, and it's all joined together on the back. I've got these wires coming off here, which are the speaker wires. Basically this back one's joined. I've got it soldered there for now, but I'm probably going to put it through the board and solder it when I've done it properly. And this is basically it's one of these which you take off. You've got to cut the metal off the back, do a bit of filing on the metal so you can solder on top of it, and the solder will stick better if you do a little bit of filing or sandpaper in it or something. And then, because if you hold heat on the back of these too long, this starts to melt. Usually you can get, even if it melts, as soon as it sort of cools again, they stick back in their place. But if you can get them to stay, like I usually just shove it on top of a bit of blue tack and then solder it, and then a bit of hot glue on the back, look. And these are just the wires out of an old USB, the power wires. And I'll show you what happens, and we'll time it. I tell you what, I'll get one of my old phones and get the old timer going on it. Hopefully we got enough battery power in this thing, right? I nearly fell on my head. Never mind. That's leaving my tools around. Right. And if you can hear a weird noise in the background, that's my washing machine. Sorry guys, but decided to do my washing today and decided to do this video at the same time. I have done this video before, but I made a little mistake down here and forgot to put this capacitor in here. I just done this one and I copied it all out, all this, from because I had these two written down on different sheets and I joined them together on one sheet so I could show you easier. And I forgot to put that in, so I realised what I'd done, so deleted the video, doing another one now. Sadly got the washing machine on, so let's get this timer going now so you can see how it works. Just gonna go through the options. Where is that thing? Stopwatch, there you go. Right then, and what we'll do is we'll put the stopwatch on and we will put the timer on. Just plug it in, and like I said, as soon as we plug it in, it's going to start making a noise, the sound is going to start going off. But as soon as we press this button down here, it'll stop and the timer will start. So get the old there you go. Look. I don't know why I'm showing you the speaker because you can't really see the sound, but here's the old siren. Now, I think it would be a little bit louder too, but my battery is a little bit on. It's gone down to about 7 volts. If it's 9 volts, it's a lot better, but that's the strongest one I got. When it goes down a little bit further than that, 6 volts or something, it starts to sound really crummy. So, and here you go, press the button and start the timer. Where's the timer? What am I doing there? Choose number 1. Start and press the button. And there you go, the siren sort of goes off slowly. Now the light is on, and we'll wait and see how long that takes. It should be about 5 minutes ish, and I'll sort of have a waffle about the circuit a bit more maybe. Move this over, I want to show you something in the circuit, which basically this is a 2907 PNP transistor. And that is an A1015. Only when I made my circuit, my 2907 is actually an A1015 by there. You can actually use one by there, because when I was doing it, I had it all on the breadboard, and I was being lazy. I couldn't be bothered to get any more transistors out. So usually I leave it on the breadboard so I can use it as reference, but I couldn't be bothered to get any more transistors out, so I was just taking the ones out of the board. And basically I picked up the wrong one. I picked up this and put it in there, and then accidentally as well I put the 2907 in there, but which obviously isn't going to work because that's supposed to be an NPN and that's a PNP. So my circuit didn't work, you know. So then eventually I realised what I'd done. I had a look at it, I had a close look. I always check them after, because you shouldn't be worried, because 99% of my circuits I solder up don't work straight away. There's always something, little thing I've missed, or like I said, I've done something back to front or something. And I got this nice little pair of 3D, they're like the ones you get in the cinemas, 3D glasses, and I stuck a little watchmaker's eyepiece in there, see, with hot glue. That's a number 3, it is, number 3, I don't know if you can see the number. And because my eyesight ain't the best anymore, so you give it a good check with that. I even wear this for soldering half the time because I can't see what I'm soldering, especially if I'm soldering like surface mount. I mean, some of them are smaller than a grain of sand and you can't see what you're doing. So anyway, we're on 2 minutes 9, 2 minutes 10. Anyway, what happened with this is I realised what I'd done. So I'd put that in there, so then I took that out. I left the A1015 in there, but obviously I couldn't leave that in there, so I took that out and put this one in, the 3904, which is supposed to be there, and it worked fine. So I didn't bother taking out my A1015 there. I left it in and it worked fine. It works the same as if it's a 2907, so there's no problems. And basically we're on 2 minutes 49. Basically the circuit works pretty well, which you'll see as soon as the alarm goes off. I've totally run out of things to say, to waffle on about, so I'm hoping come on, get moving. Want to speed up time? No. And I don't know if you can see everything in here. That's a 10 microfarad between the power, 47 microfarad over there. Got the circuit covered at the minute, and it's like I said, it's not always Like sometimes it'll be a little bit more or a little bit less than what you put it on for, but it always falls around about the same time. And something else I want to tell you is you might have to, especially if you use a different transistor, you might have to fiddle about with the value of this 82k resistor here, because I had to, because when I first done this on the breadboard, I put a 1k in there and it worked fine. It worked amazing. As soon as I done it in the circuit, it wouldn't work. I can't remember what it was. Like it was too low. Yeah, obviously, because now it's gone higher. It was too low, and it wouldn't. This wouldn't shut off. Basically, the power was kept on going through it. It wasn't. It's like you need it to be just on the edge. So as soon as that changes, it changes. You know what I mean? And so I tried all different values, kept on going up and up. Eventually I found an 82k, worked fine. I think I went over first and that was even worse, it wouldn't even do nothing. So then I got to the 82k, that worked fine, great, awesome. And now also there's another one, I mean this timer as well, like these might be a different value for you. I don't know if they'll be the same as 5 minutes approximately on mine, because there's a lot to do with the resistance of the circuit as well, you know. A lot to do with it. And yeah, well, your capacitors and resistors, I got a habit of using old capacitors as well. I do check them. A handy little thing you can get on eBay. Only cheap, but I can't remember how much it was. I think it was only about £3, something like that. I can't believe how cheap that is. It's an awesome little oh, still got the wrapping on the top, look, keeps it safer. It still had a bit of life left in it then, didn't it, although the battery's out. That's the old capacitors for you, isn't there? Yeah, there's a couple of little capacitors underneath. Oh, there you go, stop the timer, and we're on 5 minutes 34, and that's about what it usually does, about 5:30 something. So pretty chuffed, it's going really well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to box it up. You can box that. Shall I stop this so yeah? I can either press it again. If you press it again now, look, it will reset again, and obviously go for it again. But if you want to turn it off, just basically I took the battery out, but I'm thinking, well, I'm definitely going to have an on-off switch on there too, because I'm going to case it up. I've got myself an old puncture repair kit. I've been thinking of using that. Bit mucky inside, needs a wipe. It's had all my blooming puncture repair stuff in there. Just cut that tab off there. It's quite a sturdy box. Got a bit of a bend in the top, but that's all right. This is gonna be this. It's gonna be. I might mount it somewhere. I don't know. I could mount it on the wall, couldn't I? In my living room probably, because that's where I always go off to watch YouTube or something, or the telly. Forget my eggs in there. God, what a disaster. So there you go. What else was I going to say? There was something else I was going to add. I was waffling on about that one. It's awesome. You can stick resistors in there. I can't remember what it's called, where I got it from. I mean, it's just a little tester. It is. You can test like a slot like resistors in there, and transistors and capacitors, anything that'll fit really. You can't really put chips in there because well it depends if they're like certain chips, maybe, I don't know. This isn't just an awesome little thing. Diodes, I think. Have I ever tried a diode? I'm not sure, but well, diodes are pretty much, I think you can put diodes in there, because sometimes if you put like a transistor in the wrong pin, it'll say it's a diode because you're only going through the one side of it, like, so it acts like a diode. So it must work on diodes. I've probably used diodes, I can't remember, but basically that was a good test. It worked fine, and I'm sure there was something else I was going to tell you about of the circuit, but I can't think of anything. So have a go, build it up yourself. Oh yeah, I just remembered what I was going to say, but I'll just get on with it. These resistors, this resistor here, I was wondering, I haven't really got one, so I couldn't really test it, but I don't know if you could actually put a variable one in there. an adjustable one. You could probably do that with both of these. You could probably put an adjustable capacitor, variable capacitor, and a potentiometer in here for the resistor. But what I was thinking of doing on mine is, because I want another timer that does about 20 minutes, something like that, 20 minutes. So I thought what I'm going to do probably is I'm going to find out, try and get it to do 20 minutes with this capacitor. I did have it written down somewhere. I think I got some things written down where it's different times, maybe where I was testing, because every time I was testing these to try and get to the 5 minutes, I was writing it down what it was, the values, different capacitors and resistors. So, but basically I'm going to have another resistor. I'm going to try and get one in here so it does 20 minutes, because you can go up to, like, it goes up to a long time, you know. If you change them, you can have it up to an hour, probably an hour. I think I've had it up to about 20-30 minutes before. So anyway, I'm going to have another one, but instead of having like a potentiometer here where I can change it, I was thinking it might be easier, because my two times are so far apart, I might have to, and I might rather it anyway, have a switch going between the two resistors. So basically I'll have another line coming out here with another resistor, but I'll have a switch to switch between the two. That'll be the best. Like, I might need two switches, I don't know, I might have to have a switch, like turn the one off and then the other one on, so it turns the one off and turns the other one to go through, and then maybe I can put them both on at the same time. Maybe, I can't remember how that would work now. Resistors in parallel then, isn't it, really? But I don't know. Anyway, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a switch, some type. I don't know. I'll see what I'm going to do. I'll fiddle about probably at some point, and I'll put another resistor in the boards, a couple of switches. So they'll probably be coming up on wires and going to the front of me. This will be my control panel. I'll have the button to switch it on, obviously, and a few other things. Might actually desolder this button from here too and put it, hot glue it into the box so it sticks out. Or I could just have a plastic pin thing going down, but I don't know if that'll get in the way. I still want to be able to open it, because if it's great in here, it's like, stick it in by there. I can get the battery in there, and the thing is, I'm going to need to get, because I'm not going to get that in there. It's a big 8 ohm resistor. It's 8 ohm speaker. So I'm not going to jam that in there. That's not going to fit. The top ain't going to close on that thing, no matter how much I try. But I'm looking now for a couple of little speakers. I do have an old Huddle tablet. I've got an old tablet with two little speakers, but I was thinking of using them for a different thing, like an amplifier circuit. So I don't know whether I'm going to use them, or at least one of them. They'd probably be pretty loud, but whatever, I'll get down to that. The battery will fit in by there. I'll have the speaker up there. Obviously this wire won't be here. I'll have the speaker just joined onto the wires, and then that'll be great. It'll all close up then. So there you have it. I might even take the LED off and put it up, because I don't think, no, that's not going to go through. Probably put a different LED, or might even have a different colour, I don't know. Might put a blue one in there. Seems it might be nice. So there you go. Let's play you out to the tune of the tune of annoyance. That'll annoy me enough to remember the eggs with you then. So see you again later, guys, in the next one. Hope this has been a good video. Don't know if you want to see you can always look back, but there's the circuit. I just want to show you a bit closer up, because I know I've taken some circuits off the internet and had a trouble seeing what the values are, and it's a pain in the arse when you're trying to do the circuit and you can't see what the values are. So there you go, and don't forget your mom. Look after your mom. Right, job done. See you again in the next one, guys. Let's shut that thing up. So long, guys.